All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blerds and nerds, welcome to the Get Bit Podcast. Again, the show for blerds, nerds, and droids this week. I am your host, Joe Tonello, and joining me today is Podcast Droid GTBT. BT, say hi. And already we're going to be in trouble for the FCA. So we'll just get this out of the way. As always, words will fly. And this episode will probably be demonetized within the first 20 minutes. So bear with me tonight. As you can see, I have my little buddy here. He is just in case Will cannot make it. Will cannot make it tonight. So as always, I am going to be working with a co-host. Just not what I was going to be hoping for tonight. Look, it's going to be you or a rubber ball. Okay, fine. You are smarter than a rubber ball. Anyways, okay, first off, news tonight. There's not a lot of news that we can really go over because of the writer's strike. We do fully support the writer's strike, and I'd like to everyone remind you, in the eventuality of a writer's strike, if we do not support these people, we will end up with Heroes Season 2. Okay, that one I agree with. Look, it's not the fact that we don't support AI. It's the fact that we have real people with real jobs. Look, you guys are important too. I'm not discrediting anything you do. I'm just saying we need real people in Hollywood to be writing and continuing to write our stuff. Otherwise, ChatGPT will just run amok, and people need to just get paid for what they do. Okay, now you're backpedaling. Now you're just being mean. All right, fine. So, that being said, it's going to be a little shallow on news tonight. I do actually have a very brief review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I got to go see that with Dad Bod Cosplay and Associates, or Casey and the Costaculars. We are still working on a name for the Malco cosplay group that I am a part of and took part of as Nova this last weekend. I enjoyed it. I had very little problems with the movie. Other than that, I had a good time with it. BT, anything? No. I mean, just because I didn't take you doesn't mean I'm not going to ask your opinion. You can read summaries on the internet. What do you mean I don't let you read summaries on the internet? What do you mean, what-oh? Anyways, without going into spoilers, we'll go into more spoilers later on down the road. Once Will's able to come back, hopefully you'll see the movie by next week. I enjoyed the movie. Without going into too much spoilers, I will say most definitely, first and foremost, spoiler, trigger warnings for people with animal cruelty issues, myself included. There is a lot of that in this movie, and it is heartbreaking to see what they do. But be that as it may, the movie is very good. Probably the strongest of the Marvel trilogies I've seen in quite a while. Kind of ties with me with Captain America because, Civil War was just Avengers 2.5, and Winter Soldier was just a wonderful, wonderful movie. It probably ranks up there with Winter Soldier. We're not talking about Star Wars trilogy. We're talking about the Marvel trilogy. Yes, I realize they're a Disney trilogy, but still. Okay. You're going to be like this all night. I can tell. So, moving into stuff, we have at least 2 trailers. We're going to be covering those real quick in just a second, as soon as I can pull it up. Spider-Verse.
It's Miles Morales. And things are going great.
He's here.
I am spot.
That's not funny. Don't do that.
There's bubbles now. Hold on.
I don't think I want this costume anymore.
Oh, in a minute. I wrote it all as one word. It's cute, right? You.
Miles' grades are pretty good. A in AP Physics
That's my little man.
and a B in Spanish.
Are you me?
Want to get out of here? Welcome to Spider Society.
I'm Spider-Man.
Hey, all of us. Miguel O'Hara. He's like a ninja vampire spider leader.
Miles, there's moments in our stories that are the same for all. Some good.
Did you bring our baby to another
I knew I was going to regret making that web show. That would some bad. You have a choice. One for every world. I can't do that.
I can do both.
All stations, stop Spider-Man. All stations, stop Spider-Man.
Everyone, how to go. Can this take it weirder? I guess it can.
There's no one's on. My bad, I didn't. That worked.
All right, so that was the new Spider-Verse trailer. I just know I'm going to dig it out right. There's going to be a spider robot at some point. I guarantee it. Look, it's not my fault you don't have a PRKR. That's not racist. I just use a product code. You're going to do this to me throughout the whole show, aren't you? God almighty. The things I do for you, Will. So the Spider-Man trailer, I'm gonna dig it. This will probably be the last trailer we probably put on the show itself until the movie comes out, because we are just getting closer and closer to the release, and I don't want to spoil any more than I already have to. We do have a small news item that does pertain to it. Without going too much into it, share the screen, do the thing, and boop. So, Screen Rant has recently caught up with Phil Lord, who has just announced that the movie 2 will be set in 6 different universes, including 240 unique characters. Now, keep in mind, this 240 unique characters is on the screen, or will have a small voice acting role, but not a more focused part of the cast. We already know a multiversal version of Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, Miguel, Peter B, Mayday Parker, the baby, Gwen Miles, Spider-Punk, and Scarlet Spider will be, and Cyborg Spider-Man. Okay, that's the closest thing you're probably going to get to the droid in the movie. Dude, I don't make the movies. Anyways. As I was saying, GT likes to drive me nuts so much. That will be your core cast. The other 240 characters will be background characters, or characters probably chasing Miles through the chase sequence. As we see recently, we get a confirmation of Spider-Cat, another Spider-Man rapper character who's probably voiced by a rap artist I am not familiar with. We've seen other characters doing the points with speaking roles, the Spider-Man in therapy with the Spider-Man therapist last trailer. All of those are going to add into the 240 characters. Wonder if this is actually going to say what universes we will be crossing into. 6 universes. Safe to say it's not all 2 major roles, with most of them potentially being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse cameos. 6 different universes being explored. We do know that Spider-Man India. Oh, here we go. Here's more stuff. Hooray! Reading this article does help. So we have confirmation of Spider-Woman. I've already mentioned that. Takuya Yamashiro, Japan Spider-Man, is also confirmed to make an appearance. I'm hoping that's going to be a live-action tokusatsu universe where everyone's going to look like 1970s stuff. That would be fantastic. We have Miguel O'Hara. 240 characters. So yeah, like I said, they are saying, hey, we got 240 characters, but not all of them are going to have very expansive roles. I'm still looking forward to the movie. This is my most anticipated movie of the year, followed by Transformers and the newly done Astro City. Continuing with movie news. Grab that for us real quick. That is not what I'm trying to hit. Present, screen share. James Gunn. Okay, so James Gunn officially confirmed Superman production start date. He has confirmed it will be hitting the production room floor on January 2024. That way it can make the 2025 release. So the reason why this is probably the most news we are going to be getting is, again, a lot of Hollywood has stopped due to the writer strike. So a lot of production companies have stopped, and James Gunn included has gone and say he will also stop production on DC projects, most specifically Superman, until the writer strike is resolved. Hopefully it will be resolved quickly. Again, I want to reiterate, writers deserve what they need to be paid. They work very hard to entertain us, but I digress. I'm getting to it. So that is pretty much most of the news there. We got a confirmation of when at least production is starting. Once production gets rolling, we're going to be able to see who's the new Superman cast. Hopefully everybody takes everything very gently. I know a lot of people still want Henry Cavill. I don't know if it's pronounced Cavill or Cavill. I do my best. I don't even know what to do with you. So, a lot of people are still very hung up on Henry Cavill or Cavill. Before you go off again. Hopefully they'll accept the new Superman. I have a feeling this is going to go the same way as it always does when we have a recasting of a title character. Everybody's going to freak out. Everyone's going to say it's terrible. And then when the movie comes out, everyone's going to be fine with it. They did it with Michael Keaton. They did it with Val Kilmer. They did it with George Clooney, although it kind of is deserved. You're not a Clooney defender. The droid's a Clooney defender. All right. Anyways, so they did it with the Joker because Jack Nicholson turned in such an iconic performance for the 80s when Heath Ledger turned it in. We love both those Jokers. So, it's a thing. This is just a cycle. A lot of us call it the Doctor Who effect because everybody gets very attached to their doctor. The actor announces retirement for the role. A new doctor is ordered. Everybody freaks out. And then the new season starts, and then everybody's fine with it once a season or two goes through it. Still think Jodie Whittaker did a fantastic job as a doctor. Just got stuck with bad stories, but I still think she was a phenomenal doctor myself. Even BT here thinks it wasn't that bad. So, yeah, production date on that one starts. What other news do we got? Yes. Screen share that. New Gundam got announced. This is not replacing the Mercury. This is the Gundam Build Metaverse, the newest line in the Gundam Build franchise. Let's take a look at it. All right, so we are back on that. That was the teaser trailer for Gundam Build Metaverse, the newest in the Build franchise. It looks like it's only going to be a 3-part OVA as opposed to a 26-episode series. All 3 episodes will be coming out in October. My hope is it takes more after Build Fighters than Build Divers. I really didn't like Build Divers. BT, what do you think? Well, yeah, they're going to have stuff like more Gundams, more lasers. They'll have mobile armors and Haros. That's an appropriate thing for more Haros. No, I can agree with that as long as it's not like Build Divers. I mean, that was Build Divers season 1 was just a big letdown. Build Divers season 2 was fine. It was fine. Things happened that didn't need to happen in season 1 and kind of went way off the rails, but you know. Well, yeah, they had a lot of cool battle armor transformations, but that was season 2. No, they didn't have a good character in season 1. What are you talking about? No, that's Build Fighters. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with that. That's still just Build Fighters, though. Anyways, as I was saying, the new season starts in October. It is a 3-part OVA. Hopefully that will spin out into a series. Build Fighter Metaverse will spin out into a series in the future. Moving right along into what we're watching. Witch from Mercury, still fantastic. Magic and Muscle Marshall is still fantastic. Got to watch, streamed all of the new Disney Plus Muppet series, Electric Mayhem. It's a cute series. I really enjoyed it with it. Musical cameos, I was not familiar with all of them. I'm not a big music person, sadly, which really is kind of sad. I'm ignoring that one. That one was just hurtful. And that one is now monetized. Gonna get us demonetized. Like I said, first 20 minutes. Demonetized, we cannot put this. Well, we're gonna put it up, but we are not gonna be able to make money off of it. No, that was entirely on you. Anyways. So, Electric Mayhem, I really enjoyed it. Super cute. Leave it to the Muppets to teach children what an acid trip is potentially like. I don't know. I've never done acid, but there is an episode where, much like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, cactus juice gets the better of them, or in this case, greatly expired marshmallows produce an acid drop. Gotta be. Also, I wonder if Dr. Teeth's acid drop was done by Aardman, because that was some really creative stop motion. No, you think it was not Aardman? Okay, well, I am also currently working through Star Wars Visions too. No, you're not in this one. Okay, well, which one was your favorite? Okay, that one wasn't bad. You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, the very first one, Sith, was actually really good and very creatively done. I'm working my way through it. Some are hit, some are miss, and that's purely from the animation standpoint. All the stories are fantastic. It's just I like some art styles more than others. He likes the droid-focused ones. That's just unsurprising. Anyways, my favorite one happened to be the first one, Sith, and then the Aardman style one, whose name eludes me at the moment. But very creative, very well done. I look forward to Star Wars Visions being an annual thing. I think it really gets to showcase a lot of talented artists and art houses and makes more people familiar with different art styles and different cultures of art styles, because a lot of these were done not only this time from Japanese art houses, but from art houses from all over the world. BT, anything else? No, I could have put it better, but very eloquent. Nicely done, bud. Moving on over back to sharing. So it is API month. For those unaware, it's History API month. And Sesame Street is putting out for Filipino American. I grabbed a small clip. His name is apparently TJ. This was an episode with Cal Penn. And let's play that clip.
Show your confidence.
Well, I'm talking no.
Oh, you both have a lot. People believe it. Our confidence grows when we know we can ask for it.
That's frustrating to hear.
Who? Me?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Thanks for the there is no back seat. There's no sidecar, Grover.
Do I at least get a costume?
But, I mean, I'm a little over this, but I do feel it's important to share because it is going to freeze. I'm unsurprised. There it goes. So, as I was saying, we are sharing that again, a little old for Sesame Street, but still precious nonetheless. The reason we're sharing it is because, representation matters, and it is API month. So adding a new style Muppet who's Filipino American just really makes me happy. I have a lot of friends that are Filipino American, especially my sister, who is not actually Jane. Jane is my little sister, but super close friend who I treat as a sister, Carolina Sears, who is Filipino American. Something like this is very important to her because she will hopefully be a mom soon. And when she starts watching television with her kiddo, there'll be a Muppet there for him or her. So stuff like that definitely matters. That actually sounded gruffer than what he really said. So that was actually very touching. Why are there no Droid Muppets? Because Disney doesn't own Sesame Street. Disney owns the Muppets. That's how Jim Henson wanted it. I didn't make the deal. The Disney Corporation and Jim Henson did the deal before Jim Henson passed away. They sold it to the PBS system, not Disney. You get enough stuff as it is. You get a whole new season technically coming soon with Ahsoka. Okay, sure, dude. Okay, so moving on to other news, we have new comic news. Hopefully, I can pull this up without freaking out on me this time. In the world of comic book news, we have a new character coming in June, part of Dawn of DC. The character before you is Trinity, the daughter of Wonder Woman, also known as, I guess, Lizzie Prince. Her actual name is just Lizzie. We do not know if it is Lizzie Prince or Lizzie Trevor because we do not know who the dad is. My money's on Steve Trevor because of the hair. But this is set 20 years. The new series will be set 20 years in the future, starting at issue 800. And then the series that the story Tom King will be telling will be the progress of Diana going from then to becoming a full mother with Trinity being the new Wonder Woman. A couple things to note: Trinity is wearing a slightly different costume, kind of a Wonder Woman costume that used to be a thing with the long pants, the boots. The other thing is she is wielding 3 different lassos: a black lasso, the golden lasso of truth, and the silver lasso. So the gold lasso is Wonder Woman's. The silver lasso is often seen, sometimes used by Donna Troy. The black lasso I am not familiar with, so this actually may be Lizzie's on its own. And stories are also going to be revolving around Lizzie dealing with being the youngest of the second Trinity. The other two being, of course, her quote unquote older brothers, John and Damien, which Tom King will be very protective of her. Not that I feel you need to be protective of someone who's the daughter of Wonder Woman, but here nor there. Trey will make her debut with story writer Tom King and artist by Daniel Sampere, who did the artwork of Dark Crisis of Infinite Earths, which serves as a lead-in to the launch Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is getting relaunched under the Dawn of DC moniker in and around June. This is an insert in the issue 800. And that's all there really is. Don't really want to go too much more into this. Of course, I just know that I have already subbed and will continue to sub to Wonder Woman. This Wonder Woman comic, the stories have been great thus far, especially the newest stuff coming out. It was really the only thing that made Lazarus Planet worth it, other than the Power Girl stuff. Personally, I'm looking forward to it. I hope there's not going to be a fair amount of controversy around this character, like there is with every new character. At least they can't say it's gender bending or they made a girl for the sake of making it a girl, because it's the daughter of Wonder Woman. And, well, they'll find a way. Everybody always finds a way, which annoys me to no end. BT, your thoughts? What, you don't like this? Well, I mean, we're going to see it no matter what. I'll read it and we'll review it whenever the book comes out. Whether it's you on the show or Will. Or all three of us. Yeah, more than likely all three of us. So anyways, there's that bit of comic book news. Moving on over our next bit of the way clear out is going to be our final piece of news. Before we talk about one more small thing, and right before there, we have an interview from Newsarama involving Man of Steel actor Michael Dorn. We'll be talking about his upcoming comic book writing debut. That's right, Worf is writing a comic, and it is about John Henry Iron Steel and his new book coming out. So the interview is pretty much very standard fare. How did you get into comics? Who was your big comic thing? Stated that the character John Henry Iles was created by Louis Simonson and John Bogdanoff, was first introduced during '93 during Avengers Superman 500 and made a very lasting character. Steel was a very lasting character who even got a ill-fated movie run by Shaquille O'Neal. Agreed. So Michael Dorn is, how does it feel? Unreal. How it all come about? Pretty much his agent is like, hey, you want to do a comic book? The big thing I noticed about this is that Michael Dorn in this interview says he was a big fan of Superman and a big fan of Green Lantern and Flash, but he was not a fan of Batman. I can relate. So the whole premise is John Henry Irons is going to be hanging up and taking a more passive role with Metropolis as a whole. So that will make room for other people to not only don the steel armor, but for Natasha, who is so has her own steel armor to be able to do things. And this is going to be about trying to improve the neighborhood, trying to improve the city. I look forward to it. I'm definitely going to read it. I want to try and support Michael Dorn as much as possible. The man deserved his own Star Trek show. He's getting his own Star Trek comic in Star Trek Defiant. So Worf is the captain of the Defiance going forward. So he gets his own stuff. Well, what does it matter to you? I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. We're not going to cover Picard. We're waiting until Will gets back for that. What do you mean there's droid dinner? Data's not a droid. That's semantics. Anyways, I can't argue with him sometimes. So now, back to what I was saying. The comic book, I'm looking forward to it. It will be on my pull list, or at the very least, I'll pick up a couple issues. Surprisingly, I went and picked up my comic book pool and had to shave off a comic book pool list. And my list was 2 full pages, and I cut it down to at least a full page. It's quite a bit of books I've been reading. Speaking of books, we celebrated Free Comic Book Day at Rick's Comic Book City. Went off fantastically. I ran the crowd at Rick's Comic Book City, tried to hype them up best I can. Interacted with a lot of the customers, a lot of the kids. I was a Ghostbuster. Constant cosplaying. Friend of mine, Casey, came as not Ms. Marvel, Mary Marvel. I always want to say Ms. Marvel, but I keep forgetting that's Kamala, not Mary, and or Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel can technically be called that now, but I believe we're still going with Shazam. So she came as Mary Marvel, did a fantastic job. The little kids loved her to death. That was super sweet. Picked up a fair good bound of books, Ranger Academy, Uncanny Avengers, which I cannot wait to read. I Am Stan, which is a comic book autobiography of Stan Lee, just to name a few. Picked up a few trades, supported the store, as I always will continue to do, because Rick's Comic City is always fantastic to us to hear on Get Bit, and we hope to be continuing to support them as much as we possibly can in the future. So, comic books tonight. I will just be reading what we're looking at rather than do the full thing. Just A lot happened to me this week, guys, so I apologize. I was not able to get every individual issue down as I usually do. That one's on me. Anyways, first off, we are going to be looking at Daredevil number 11, written by Chip Zdarsky, artist by Rafael De La Torre, and colors by Matt Wilson. This issue sees the defeat of the Fist and Matt recovering in New York, kind of just trying to pick up the pieces because it's Matt. Everything is collapsing around him, all for the sake of being good. Turns out Foggy and Stick were nothing more than puppets of the hand and were actually dead. The majority of all the people that made up the Fist, all the anti-heroes or villains that were willing to reform for the sake of the Fist, have been arrested and being put in. Matt tries to negotiate the only way he can with two characters that Chip Zdarsky introduced earlier on his run. A pair of siblings who are really the kingpins above the kingpins in New York. Like they run almost all crime, it seems. I know I'm saying I'm a lot on this one, but they really are describing also. I forget their names. But Una and what is his other name? The Stormwinds. The Stormwinds. So Matt goes to make an appeal to the Stormwinds of, hey, I will be your devil. Release my wife. Release everybody else. And this is kind of a ploy. Matt gets to one of them and lets them know that they're on notice. I have a feeling that this is going to end between a final fight between Daredevil and the Stormwinds. Fantastic issue. Chip continues to hit it out of the park with both books. His Daredevil is nothing short of fantastic. His Batman, as of late, has been very good. Start off strong. A bit of a weak second arc. The third arc, hopefully, with her Chip will be better. But this Daredevil has been just consistently strong all the way through. I love this book. The art has been very good, whether it be the main artist or the guest artist been in. I really, really enjoyed it. It's been so much fun. Next up, we are going to be looking at X-Men Red number 11. As soon as it loads in. Look, it's not my fault the internet's slow. Leave me alone. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying the internet is slow. Oh, you're going to do this to me every time we bring you on, aren't you? There we go. So, X-Men Red 11, written by Al Ewing with art by Stefano Caselli and Hopako Kamali as artist, with colors Federico Blee. Storm, this is really just an aftermath of since the Sinister Storm is back in Morocco on Mars. Tries to have a day, but is summoned by Xavier. Storm comes and pretty much lays it out for Xavier. Xavier's still kind of really upset about the whole Sins of Sinister thing. And Storm pretty much says our friendship is over because Xavier really pushes a line that he shouldn't have. And just like pretty much Storm's has had enough of Xavier. Not to mention Storm was on a date with a new gentleman by the name of Craig. Meanwhile, Roberto Del Costa of the New Mutants and Richard Rider Nova, who thankfully is back in this book, are just chilling in Morocco hot springs and just kind of shooting the breeze. Nova's still kind of, traumatized by a lot of everything going on in his life because the man's just basically gone from one intergalactic crisis to another, as he still seems like he's the only Nova officer there is. I'm surprised he hasn't started a recruitment drive outside of Sam Alexander, but like jumping from one planet level crisis to another has really taken a toll on Richard, and this is much needed R&R, although he is in the hot springs still wearing his helmet. No uniform, just himself wearing the helmet. To where they even ask him, it's like, you know, we could take that helmet off. It's like, he's like, nope, Nova Force overload. I need something to keep it on, or his cellular structure starts degrading because of how much Nova Force is actually in him, which may or may not be an actual thing. He could be wearing the helmet as a coping mechanism. I kind of makes me sad because Richard's one of my favorite characters. Why cosplay Nova? However, they are interrupted as a flash of light happens in the sky. And it just pretty much turns out that the fall of X is starting because we hear that one of the people from the Tennis Sword series is there. The White Sword has fallen, and 99 of his champions with him, and this dude is the last of his champions. He brings the legendary White Sword to Nova and Roberto and gives them only the warning of Genesis is coming. So that means Apocalypse and his family are coming back, and stuff is about to go down. Good book. Series is fantastic. I will always keep this sub. This X-Men and Immortal X-Men have always been fantastic reads from start to finish. They are the books I continue to support. And as much as I'm a New Mutants fan, I'm a huge New Mutants fan above anything else. Their book has just been a real roller coaster of quality. We'll just put it that way. But X-Men Red continues to be a fantastic read. Al Ewing is just hitting it out of the ballpark along with Cy Spurrier and the other gentleman who is writing it, Ben Percy, I think is what it is. There are so many writers, dude. It's hard to keep track of who's writing what. That's right. Laugh at me. Anyways, digging this. Moving into DC. I'm going to get this right out of the way. See if I can't find the page for this. Green Lantern, 1 month later. Try to find the splash page for this. I know this is written by Jeremy Adams. This is Dynasty DC Green Lantern. This is the Hal Jordan book. There you go. Thank God. Donna DC now has splash pages. So this is Back on Earth, Part 1. Written by Jeremy Adams with art and cover art by Zemeckis and coloring by Romella Ferrado. Okay, I'm going to level with you guys. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. Everybody knows that. Also, everybody knows I'm a very biased Green Lantern fan. I love Kyle Rayner. I love Joe Sojourner Mullins. I love Jessica Cruz. I love Guy Gardner. My least favorite Lantern is Hal Jordan. And that's because all his stories to me are the same. And unfortunately, as much as I love Jeremy Adams because he writes a fantastic Flash book, his Flash is fantastic. He delivered a very cookie cutter, cut and dry Hal Jordan story of returns to Earth. Immediately goes to hit on Carol Ferris. Immediately gets his job back at Ferris Air to fly test drones, but doesn't know how to fly test drones because he is an F-16 fighter jockey. Fights a bad guy. And by the way, guys, props to the artist of Zemeckis here. This man is clearly a Macross fan because in the book itself, we are dealing with the YF-38, and the plane designs are very Macross inspired to the point where the Ferris Air logo now looks very much like the Macross Frontier logo. Don't think I don't notice Macross stuff sneaking into this book. But these are very, very similar to Veritech fighters, or Valkyries, whichever one you want to do. It's all the same. It's all Macross, be it Robotech, Frontier, Delta, Plus, or 7. But no, I definitely understand what these designs are, and props to Zemeco for putting them in there. And that was probably my highlight, was the art itself, the story. Again, I just can't get behind it because it's a Hal Jordan book, and he only can do really 3 things: be Green Lantern, hit on Carol Ferris, and fly a plane. I mean, I'm being very biased here. I will absolutely 100% say my non-enjoyment of this book, and I will continue to sub to this book because I want to support Green Lantern. He is my favorite DC hero outside of Starman, Jack Knight Starman. But I don't like Hal Jordan because all his stories are the same story. Especially when he's on Earth. And a lot of people say, well, it's Hal Jordan back on Earth, and he hasn't been back on Earth in a while. It's like, well, the only 2 things he's going to do back on Earth is hit on Carol and fly planes. And the third thing is be Green Lantern. And then try to immediately get back out into space. So, I mean, I recommend it because this is a great jumping on point for a lot of people. And a lot of people love Hal. For me, I will only continue to support this book and subscribe to this book purely for the fact that this is a Green Lantern book. I mean, the backup story in this is fantastic. The backup story in this is John Stewart is chilling after his last big adventure at his mom's house. And in another time, another planet seems to be Queen of the Black Lanterns. And that story I will read 100% of the time, every time I read this book. The Hal Jordan stuff, he better cameo a whole lot of different Green Lanterns, or there better be a Green Lantern core book coming out soon, because I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money just to support a book simply because it's Green Lantern. I can't stress that enough. I do not like this opening. What? Am I going on too long? Okay. So, moving on next book, because BT is right. I'm going on too long on this. Next up, we got Stargirl. Let me see who got writing duties on this one. This will be spinning out in some series soon again. This is Stargirl and the Lost Children, book 6 of 6. Pretty much the day is saved. Courtney fights off the child kidnapper of all these sidekicks across time and space. One of the kids apparently has an evil future self. Hourman 4, which is the robot Hourman, is found, and turns out he may or may not be the big bad, just depending on certain things. And then things just kind of go back to the way they were, kind of. All the kid sidekicks are brought back to the standard timeline, which is very disheartening in the grand scheme of things, because some of these were Golden Age superheroes. So a lot of these kids' parents are either dead, because these are World War II heroes, so their parents are long past, or some of the superheroes like the Boom, which is Jay Garrick's daughter, gets to reunite with their parents, and then their parents have to struggle with learning that they are parents for the first time, and learning how to be a parent, because they were originally retconned to never been parents to begin with the example of Jay and Judy Garrick. They get their daughter back that they never knew they really had. By the way, this book is written by Jeff Johns with art by Todd Nunick and colors by Matt Herms. I dig it. Great way to end it. We do learn that it will be continuing later on down the road let's see where the new book is titled. It's at the very, very end. For more Stargirl and the Young Justice League, just out Justice Society of America. that book will be continuing. This story will be continuing probably as a backup in Justice Society in JSA number 6. Can't wait to see how this looks going forward. Yes, BT took a nap, but that's okay. We're running it out. So this is going to be our final book of the night, Spirit World, Dawn of DC. This is written by Alyssa Wong, art by Henning, and colors by Sebastian Chang. This is part of the DC's new API initiative, where we are going to be getting new API heroes such as Spirit World, City Boy, and the Vigil. Not only that, but this is a trans character written by, well, I've already done written. Just got to find the name of her. Name of them, excuse me. Xanth Zhao. They're a spirit envoy. And if you read DC Voices API gathering, we got our introduction with Xanth. The core of this book is that in the last issue, which was the introduction of Xanth, is Cassandra Cain Batgirl got trapped in the Asian spiritual realm, and Xanth and John Constantine have to travel to the spirit world and get Batgirl out in one piece. That is the crux of this book. I will say I really love this book. This has been my favorite book of the week. I actually got a copy for both myself and my sister Jane. That way she can give this a shot. I think she'll really like it. Xanth has very unique powers of any type of funeral paper, which is used to help burn for offerings, can be made into any items. Most notably, she uses it as a sword. We also get how the spirit world works. Apparently, anything burned gets put into the spirit world, which is kind of hilarious because money is burned so much as an offering that it is completely and utterly pointless. We also get 2 new characters. Bowen, who is a ghost, and his Popo, which I believe is grandmother, who will be taking care of Batgirl and will be part of the thing. I really, really dug this episode or issue and can't wait for more. This character looks so fun. I haven't read a story like this in a very long time. I honestly don't think if ever. They have a unique power set. It's great to see that DC is moving into more Asian-style superheroes. Other than that, I really don't want to go too much more into this because I want you guys to read the book. And that will do it for comics. So definitely go check out Spirit World. And I believe next up will be City Boy. That'll be it for us there. GT has gone offline. I think his battery finally died. Thank God. He can't mock me anymore this episode. But we are ending out anyway, so thank you for watching. As always, please go support your local comic book store. If you're in the Nashville area, that's Rick's Comic City. That can be found in Courtsville or Donaldson, which also is part of the greater Nashville area. You can find me at Joe Italian Last Name on Twitter and on Twitch. Total Justice Gaming on YouTube, but that's kind of teeter off just because work's been really taking it out of me. So I haven't been able to put up much content there, but I will probably be streaming things soon. I know I always say that, but at some point I'm going to find a game I want to stream. Other than that, hopefully you guys have a good week. Will and I will be back next week, and see you guys soon.